Well, here we are at the conclusion of another KWODZAP album. I call it an album. It's a video series, but you can also call it a video album because it's like 10 songs with me talking about it. And if you were to play all these videos back to back, it'd be like a show, kind of like a free-form radio show. In fact, better than free-form radio in the sense that you get pictures with it. So the pictures aren't exactly what the story's about. I mean, kind of like MTV was never that good, right? I mean, you got pictures with the songs, but the pictures kind of ruin the story that you had in your mind, right? Because the power of music is basically that it unleashes your imagination, allowing you to picture whatever you want. I don't think a lot of Beatles songs were specifically and deliberately about one thing or another. That, I mean, a lot of it was just what flowed out of them that was poetic, and it didn't necessarily mean something specific. Just like the song we're about to hear, and I'm not comparing it with the Beatles. I just throw them in sometimes because they're my favorite group. The song "Road to My Summit," which concludes this KWODZAP album, is about going through life and challenges and approaching barriers and trying to just get to where you want to go as peacefully and as responsibly and thoughtfully as possible. So, but in order to get there, you have to go through a lot of haze, and that haze a lot of times is concocted by the system. And what is the system? Well, that's a long story. We'll have to talk about that in another video series maybe. The system, we all know it. It's when we use the word they, like, oh yeah, they could put a man on the moon and they could do this and that, but they can't find a cure for cancer. Stuff like that. Whenever you hear people say the word they, they're kind of talking about the people who really run things in our society, in our world. So, Road to My Summit is trying to get from point A to point B, going through the maze of the system. So I hope that clears it up. It can mean whatever you want it to mean, so in that sense it's like a regular song, but it's a special song at the same time because it has meaning to me. It has more meaning to me after writing it and recording it and listening to it, and developing new meanings in my mind. In other words, it means more now than when I set out to write the lyrics with my friend Frank Simmons, who lives in the San Francisco Bay Area. He's in the medical biz, and we became friends because he was a listener of mine on my radio show in Sacramento on Quad, and we just became friends. It turned out we both played guitar, we both were into songs, and so I'd come over to his place and we'd jam, and one day we just came up with this set of lyrics, and then I set it to music afterward, and it's one of my favorite songs I've written. So there's your background, and here's the song that wraps up the video album. It's called Road to My Summit.